Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. What an absolutely beautiful weekend. Amazing. Unbelievable. I just enjoyed it so much. We got a lot done. We literally got all of Christmas basically put down. Judy wants to keep these lights up because it looks pretty at night. And I guess we'll see how it goes. But hey, if it makes her happy, I'm okay with that. Well, guys, it is the big day. And yep, you know I'm talking about Flair there. So last night I was actually up and looking at the charts for Flair. Watch the price go from 51 cents all the way down to something like 17 cents and then bounce back up to around the 19-cent range. I think now it's around the 20 some cent range. But guys, I had to laugh because as many of us know, a lot of these retail people like you and I, we haven't even received our Flair yet. But all of a sudden you see this massive spike down. And by the way, it happened within like 1 hour's time practically. What you're seeing there, guys, is absolute market makers playing with the numbers, manipulating the whole price thing. I mean, literally, it was trending around 51 cents. Then all of a sudden, like the day before, we're gonna see the mass distribution. The price drops 60 some percent. Come on, that is sheer and total manipulation. If you didn't think that these markets were being manipulated, well, there's your evidence right there. They sure the heck are. And a lot of people ask, well, hey, why is the price of XRP only at 30 some cents when you consider all of its adoption and utilization and all that? Well, guys, there's your answer. The price is being suppressed. It's absolutely manipulated. There's zero doubt about it. And in this situation, hey, these market makers out there, they know that if all these retail folks, they get their Flair, a lot of people, and I've been seeing it trending, on messages and this and that, hey, I'm selling my bag and all this and that, and people just, hey, it's free money, I'm going to just cash in and da. Well, of course that would have caused the price to drop anyway, but for them, they're like, hey, we want to incentivize these people to actually keep it and work in the ecosystem. So not only are we going to talk about wrapping the Flair so that you can actually benefit from future distributions of this, of the token or the airdrop or whatever, but on top of that, we're going to crush the price so it doesn't look it's not that candy apple at 51 cents. Now we're down here around the 19-20 cents, and you're still going to find people sell. And more than likely, you're going to watch the price go from 19 cents down to even maybe 10 cents. And that, guys, that is what we deal with all the time in this space. Total, utter manipulation. And sometimes it does. It gets right under your skin, but you just need to know how to play the game. Look, I'm not a whale, and most of us can't be whales, right? But I can tell you this much. I don't follow their advice. I follow their behavior, and I can stack my pennies next to their dollars and see what happens. Now, for me, I planned on keeping my Flair. I planned on wrapping it, and I planned on, employing it just like I have with my Songbird. And I'm looking at this ecosystem for the long haul. So I had no intention of selling it anyway. But for those of you that did, what a rude awakening, hey? It is crazy. Now, an article that I was reading that really tweaked my interest had to do with blockchain and real estate. So, guys, they are flat out coming out and saying, hey, it looks like blockchain is going to take over the real estate market. And how so? Well, guys, through smart contracts, because it's all about saving fees and getting away from a lot of these middlemen and escrow agencies. So you're talking about 10 to 20,000 on average when you're dealing with real estate fees and all the escrow and all that kind of stuff. Well, with blockchain and smart contracts, you're going to be able to avoid a heap of those fees. And something else about real estate is this. Real estate is considered by and large an illiquid type of asset just because of the time it takes to liquidate it and sell it, and that it's not as liquid as other assets. Well, with the tokenization of real estate, that is no more. In fact, they're projecting that real estate is going to be among one of the most liquid assets in the tokenization of real estate. And just think of it this way. There's a lot of folks out there that aren't divested or invested into like rental properties or different things like that because it's not in their portfolio or whatever. But with tokenization, and major rental properties, and some of these big strip malls and commercial properties, as well as residential properties, they can be tokenized, and folks can have access to this type of diversity in their portfolios and taking on rental properties through tokenization. Because, of course, with tokenization, you're bringing the price way, 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 way down to an amount where a person could put like maybe $5,000 or $10,000 into it, or even less than that, and have a stake in some of these major rental properties. And think about this, rental markets like in Hawaii or down in Florida or other major vacation hubs. It could be a major, major boon, like out there in Aspen and places like that, where you have, all these villages that are set up, for tourists and stuff like that. And that being tokenized, you're not required to go out there and invest a huge amount of dough. You can actually do it through tokenization. Now, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of that is the whole timeshare industry. Watch and see if they're not some of the first movers when it comes to tokenization and utilizing blockchain for timeshares and things like that. I suspect that's coming real quick. Now, guys, the first real estate agency that comes out full-fledged blockchain, where they do away with the middlemen, and it's the listing of it, the sale of it, the escrow of it, the whole bit is all done through blockchain. I'm telling you, that first mover advantage is going to be massive. Just wait and see how that pans out. But this is another area where distributed ledger technology is literally changing the way in which our world works. And another thing, when you think about that, guys, is think about mortgages. How about decentralized finance for mortgages and not having to go through traditional banks and all this kind of stuff? It could really, really change the entire landscape of what the real estate market looks like in the US and, of course, around the world. It's going to be big. Well, guys, hey, I'm waiting on my flare, and we'll see what happens later on today. But for most of us that are in this space for a long time, I'm not sure, but for me anyway, I know that I'm just going to be part of that ecosystem and just see how it all plays out down the road. But I'm telling you, when I saw those price moves last night, in the wee hours of the morning, I knew for a fact this is not retail. This is market makers going out there and setting the tone before majority of retail even receive their Flare tokens. So, hey, what a perfect example of manipulation when we all talk about it and people say, well, how do you know? How do you know? This is how you know, guys. Most retail don't even have their Flare yet you're seeing spikes like that? Come on. Hey, that's the way it is. Well, guys, I have a great video planned for us later on today. I hope you had a fantastic weekend, of course, and enjoy your Monday, start of a brand new weekend. We'll see you later on this afternoon. Until then, take care.